As you can see, we've built an insanely professional set to film here. But since I'm not familiar with wiring harnesses and with these things, unlike many other things, my colleague Christoph will film it. We're going out and film another episode of the most sexiest Vespa workshops. As always, our videos start right here in front of the SIP building. And normally we drive all over Germany. We've already driven up to Lübeck to film some beautiful workshops. But there is one store that is very close, and I think it's one of the nicest Vespa stores. And that's what we want to introduce to you today. So, let's go back into the building. You already know our building and our store as a background for many videos. But why exactly today is a good time to introduce the store to you again? Has a very simple reason. We have rebuilt it. So our store is basically a new store, and there is one man who is responsible for it. I'll introduce him to you in a moment, but first I'll order 2 espressos so we don't die of thirst. Moritz, first of all, please tell us why we're sitting here in some kind of cafe or trattoria with an espresso and not a clutch.
We're sitting in the middle of the shop with an attached restaurant. We built it here to have a place where you can spend your time as a customer.
The espresso is great. There's pizza and only Italian drinks. So you already have a bit of Italian flair as soon as you walk in here.
I would also say that everything is very authentic, and the whole thing is also run by our friends from Italy.
When customers come into the new store, what is the first thing that is really new for them?
What's really new here is Sandra, our new store saleswoman.
Okay, so let's introduce her to you.
There's a wind and it's blowing. There's a current that's running deep. I can't see but I know it. That something's not what it's meant to be.
Now we're standing here with Sandra. Please explain to us what your job here in the new store is.
My job here is to provide customers with proper advice on helmets and, what is also becoming more popular, protective clothing, so that it just fits properly.
Could you please explain to us how the new shop is structured and where we can find something?
It's actually pretty organized. For example, we have a huge helmet wall here. Our focus still lays on that.
So you can see that the helmets are presented very well in the new shop and are arranged in an L shape. Here are the gloves and a few more exhibits, like this nice scooter. What's back there? We have merchandise. I think that's the new German word for stuff. There is a lot of merchandise. There are also books and animal signs, of course, with Vespa. So everything you would like to bring with you when you need a souvenir from your tour, for example.
Over there is the protective clothing. There are summer jackets with protectors, somewhat firmer clothing, and even bomber jackets.
Stylish, so no longer the colorful clothing that you are used to from the 80s. You can even get bomber jackets, or something similar here.
Here in the front we have t-shirts that we created ourselves with our own logo. In front the ZIP logo and behind with Landsberg am Lech. We also have different versions of different cities.
I briefly stopped 2 guests from eating because I saw that they came with 2 Vespas and a lot of luggage. Where are you from?
We are just on our way back home, where we came from a trip in Tuscany, where we stayed 8 days. Our first stop in Germany is always the Seporia. We actually shop here regularly for our mopeds, and we always get great service. The shop is nice and you can always find something good to eat and drink here.
often see that people come by with their Vespa, take a look at the shop and eat something. It's also nice to have a little conversation too, so feel free to come by, take a look at the store and have something to eat. Especially at the weekend with nice weather like today, it's always worth a trip. This counter here is not quite so new. Or has it been around?
This counter already existed in the old shop in Graf Zeppelin Straße.
Okay, but the most important thing about the counter is actually not how old it is, but that you can get something here.
Actually, the complete range of goods that is behind us in the warehouse.
If you look through the door here, you can see that it goes to our warehouse and to the shipping line. And everything that is available here and in the online shop can be bought here at Ollie's counter. But the interesting thing is not only the things that are for sale there, but that you can also get technical advice.
We are all passionate Vespa drivers and we can help everyone from Faro Basso to the modern Vespa GTS.
Your favorite thing to ride? Ollie is a very big Faro Basso expert, so if you want to know more about it, just take a little look at our Model 101 series. But of course, Ollie doesn't just know his way around a Faro Basso Vespa. You can also give advice for engineering or parts, whether it's a small frame, Faro Basso, or even a GTS, right? So, no matter what you need, come to Ollie here for technical advice. We'll now take a look at the warehouse. We have arrived here in the warehouse. The shelves are well stocked. And how exactly the products end up in our shelves and later in your mailbox, that we will show you in a quick run-through. Here it starts with an idea. This is where we develop, and this is where we purchase. This is where the parts come in. This is where the parts are photographed. This is where the parts are stored. We sell the parts here. And this is where the parts are then picked up for shipping. The parts are then packed and go out here. And very rarely a package comes back and arrives here, but that is really rare. Now we're back in the room you know from most of our videos, the workshop. And this room is also open to the public about once a month, or rather, a side room. The one room here where it's already written on the door what's inside. Our dyno room. And about once a month we host an event called Open Dyno. That means you can register and do dyno runs from about 4 p.m. on. You can book the dyno run on the internet beforehand, then you come here, put your scooter up and see what its performance is. And usually, unfortunately not always, this is also connected with an event that we do here, in or better, in front of the house. That is our Italian aperitivo event. And the good thing is, today is such a day. The aperitivo event is over and the video comes to an end. For those who have not had enough of our Vespa events, I would like to introduce two more. Is our SIP Open Day. Here you can see the old posters for it. The second one is our Joyride. You can see when it all takes place on our Facebook page or our homepage. I'm going to say goodbye now. Until next time.
That is unbelievable. I hope something falls down. I already knocked over a tower today.
You knocked down a tower?
Yeah, that pile over there. Do you see it?
Over there is a pile that Charlie knocked over earlier today.
Yes, exactly. I love you too. Are we still going to Dao?
No. I've already reserved a pizza.